This is Whiskey Radio Papa Lima 305, doing a radio check on the Ailunce HA1G. Check, check, 1, 2, 3, check, check, test, test, no response required. PCBWay.com. It's not just your one-stop shop for design, prototyping, and production runs of printed boards, wired assemblies, CNC machining, and 3D printing. It's also a great platform for collaboration. Head on over to that Shared Projects tab and see what others have uploaded for your viewing pleasure and to help you think through your particular project. Showcase your creativity and technical skills by signing up for that open source design contest. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can get there quickly and easily. Hey everyone, Bob here, KD4BMG HOA Ham, and today I'm Whiskey Radio Papa Lima 305. That's right, we're doing a test and review on the Retevis Ailunce HA1G. Retevis did provide this to me for my use and review so I could share it with you. And it looks like I got a couple of drops of water on top of this HA1G. Actually, it fell into a jar of water. And actually, I dunked it in a jar of water. That's right. We're going to get a look at that IP67 rating and see exactly what it means and if it's for real. This radio does come with the normal culprits. It has the manual, the antenna. Yep, the antenna came right off of it. We'll talk about that. A belt clip, a lanyard, a charging station, a charging cable, which is USB-C, both on the back of this charging station as well as on the back of the battery. And then we have a programming cable. Spoiler alert, it's a buy. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can pick this up off of the Amazon store directly from Retevis. It's a chunky boy. So when I say that, you know I'm a minimalist. I really like the TD-H3. The TD-H3 is an amateur radio, a ham radio, but it can also be converted over to GMRS. Because I'm a minimalist, I really like how small this is. And when you put this tiny little stubby antenna on top of it, which is the G-Gable radio stubby antenna, of course I use B and C connectors because then I can move the antennas around quickly between radios, compared to the Anytone 878, which is my amateur radio ham bands, and it's larger than that. And while I like minimalism, it has a fantastic feel in the hand. So it's a brick. You hear me talk about brick radios. This is a tiny brick. This is a large brick. It's larger than all of my other radios, with the exception of perhaps my ICOM radio, what? ID52A? Is that what that is? I don't have that in front of me right now. I don't use it that often. But chunky radio that has a very good feel in the hand, meaning it's a great fit. Now, when people say that things feel quality, we do use our senses to observe things and decide whether or not things feel quality. Our sensory perception, we do that all the time. So, you know, I put stock in that. Some people don't like that comment. It feels good. But if you're going to say a radio feels good, do me a favor and take the battery off, because sometimes batteries add weight to radios, and the battery is what makes the radio have chunk to it and heft, and then that's what makes it feel like it's quality. This has a metal, I'm going to say an aluminum die-cast frame, and it has heft and chunk without this battery attached to it. That battery is a 2800 milliamp hour battery, and it does have USB-C charging. So the greatest weakness on this Ailunce radio is simply the manual. The manual is just basic. Other than that, it is a fantastic radio, and I'm going to tell you, like I've already said, it's a buy. No questions about it. So I have also mentioned that the antenna can come off of it very easily. As I understand, GMRS radios are supposed to have permanently affixed antennas, and the way many manufacturers get around that is that they add a set screw to the antenna. So this just has a band that pulls off, and you might be able to see, just barely see a set screw there. So the set screw was loose on this radio, and I should say on this antenna, so it came off rather easily. If you're one of those people that really wants your antenna permanently affixed to your GMRS and you don't ever want it coming off, well, then just torque down to that set screw and you'll be good to go. Let's head on over to the Retevis website, because the website tells the entire story about all the features of this radio. We're going to go through them really quickly. Then I'm going to do a power test. We'll look at whether or not this is a clean radio, and then we'll do that dunk test. Let's see if it's really IP67 rated. Well, it is, but does it hold up to the rating? Maybe that's what we'll find out. The HA1G has all the features we expect from a premium GMRS radio. It has 250 channels. Of course, 30 of those are the pre-programmed GMRS channels that we expect. And then those other channels can be customized to any ham frequencies that you want to listen to. Of course, that's receive only. And you don't just have to get to that through the CPS software. You can actually key them in VFO mode. The radio offers dual standby, not dual receive, meaning you can't receive simultaneously on the two different channels, but you can monitor on the two different channels, receive only one at a time. You are able to get FM receive only, and that would be achievable through either one of the shortcut buttons or through the menu. NOAA weather alerts is a requirement for me on any radio, and we get this with the HA1G. One of the most unique features about this radio is its color screen. It's very vibrant and easy to read, very crisp and clear.
I don't know, probably get a vertical again for 20 and up. Did you give up on the NFET that you had for a while? Still using it. I don't like it, but I'm still using it. I mean,
that was a rag chew I picked up here on one of the local repeaters using my attic UHF VHF antenna. It's not resonant on GMRS, so I don't transmit, but I will often listen on a GMRS radio here in the shack using that antenna. So the screen is not being picked up fantastic by my really stupid expensive camera. Trust me, it's a beautiful looking screen. The other feature of this radio that I do want to point out before we get to the tests you're all waiting for is this menu system is incredibly intuitive through the buttons and the knobs. So you would use a combination of the two, pressing the menu button, and then you can navigate up or down with the arrows. You can also navigate up and down with this selector knob. Going all the way to the bottom here, I do want to show you, this is where we pick up the FM radio, and you can see that it's currently off. Press select again and we'll be on the radio. Let's see if we have anybody there. Yep, let's turn that off so I don't get a strike by my friends over at YouTube. You press select again, or I should say menu, and it turns it off. And then you can exit. It goes back one level. Let's go down one. And this is where we have our weather settings, select menu. And here again, use that knob to go between the options, or use the arrows to go between the options. Menu selects, and these are our NOAA channels. I'm receiving NOAA 5 now. That's the station that I normally receive in the Tampa Bay area. I don't get good reception here in the shack on NOAA. I usually have to put my external antenna on or go outside. If I have bad weather, I'm not going outside and putting my external antenna on. Let's just see if by chance we're getting any reception. Nope, static. That's not unusual for me with any radio here in the shack. But I did want you to see that you do have all the NOAA channels that you would normally expect to see here in the US. And again, exit takes you back a level, back another level. Now we're back at the main menu. And if we go all the way to the top, you see radio settings, select menu. And again, here you have all kinds of features that you would choose. Select menu, it takes you in, and then your up and down arrows. This is the time that you're going to display on your screen, and then you would select that and you have it now saved as your menu feature. Very intuitive menu setting, possibly one of the best I've ever seen on a radio before, certainly the best I've ever seen on a GMRS radio, hands down. For our power tests, we're going to go ahead and transmit into our dummy load, starting with channel 1. And here we're transmitting, picking up 4.6 watts, which is about what we would expect for a 5-watt radio. Moving on over to channel 9, we expect to see about half of a watt, and I'm satisfied here at half of a watt. Finally, let's go up to channel 15. We should expect to see close to 5 watts again, and here we are, 4.6, 4.7. We'll call the power test a pass. Next up, let's attach our radio to the Tiny SA Ultra and look for spurious emissions. I know. Not even the FCC cares about spurious emissions on GMRS, so why do you, Bob? What's your problem? Well, other than wanting a clean radio, it would be nice to get what I paid for. Now, I didn't pay anything for this. Retevis Ailunce provided this to me for my use and review, but if I went out and bought this radio, I want to get all the watts on the frequency I'm transmitting on. Do you realize when you have spurious emissions, your power is spread across? Yes, I put it on a power meter. It gave me the ratings that I thought it would. It looks at the power in aggregate on that power meter. When you hook this up to a tiny SA Ultra, you've got power output on a fundamental, and you've got power output on every spurious emission. So if I have 3 spurs, that means I'm spreading my power out across 4 frequencies. Maybe we should start paying the radio manufacturers per watt on the right frequency. And let's see if they get it right. Heading over to the Tiny SA Ultra, let's see what we have. It takes the Tiny SA a couple cycles to settle down and give us our final reading. We can already see we're in fantastic shape. Retevis Ailunce gave us exactly what we wanted, a clean radio. All of our power out on the right frequency. Well, we shall see, won't we? We'll see what IP67 really means. This is Whiskey Radio Papa Lima 305. Check, check, test, test. After the water dunk for 30 minutes, checking the IP67 rating. Check, check, test, test, 1, 2, 3, no response required. Let's go back out to the truck now and transmit on that radio into this one and see what we get. Well, let's just see if the speaker doesn't look too bad. This is Whiskey Radio Papa Lima 305, transmitting from the truck back into the shack, and we have the HA1G sitting on the desktop after the 30-minute water dunk. How are we sounding? Check, check, 1, 2, 3, test, test, no response required. So that's what it means when someone says their gear has an IP67 rating. I have a radio that's clean in more than one way now. The HA1G from Retevis Ailunce. Good gear, HOA Ham recommended. I hope you found this useful. If you're looking for a GMRS radio and this is your first look at something like this is a good piece of gear to pick up. Talk to you soon, friend. 73.